This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we're dealing with the LG washing machine that won't drain, and this might be an OE error, or you might just notice that it isn't draining, and it's pretty easy to fix. You just need to replace the drain pump. They don't last very long, maybe 3 to 4 years. So we're going to make sure we have it unplugged and we've got all the water drained out first. And we're going to take off these Phillips head screws that are holding on this plastic cover. Comes right off. We're going to remove these two Phillips head screws that are holding the pump to the front panel. So you can get to the pump by removing the front panel, or you can just tilt the machine back and come in from underneath, which is a little bit faster. I'm just making sure that there's no water left in here. I'm going to unscrew this coin trap and no water comes out, so I know it's ready for the repair. If there's still water left, then you don't want to do the repair yet because it'll create quite a mess. So you want to try to drain out any water that might be remaining. You can use a little pan like the one shown here really helps to get rid of the water. So again, make sure it's unplugged, pull it away from the wall, and then lean it back about 45 degrees against the wall. And make sure it's supported so there's no chance it can fall on you. And you're going to crawl in underneath, and we have to remove a couple of hoses. There's a big black hose that goes between the tub to the drain, and then there's a smaller gray hose on the top of the drain that takes water away from the machine. Usually it has like a gray rubber boot or a green rubber boot. You have to remove both of those. So I'm using these special pliers that help me remove these spring clamps. And then I'm going to squeeze in the spring clamp pretty tight and move the spring clamp back on this tube pretty far. That'll help me on the reassembly, because I want to be able to put the tube on first and then put the spring clamp on after. And then here is the green rubber boot. That's the drain hose that's on top. And it also has a spring clamp that we have to push in on and move off of the boot, and we can lift off this one off of the drain assembly. And then we're almost ready to get it out of the machine. There's a little catch that we have to let go with a standard head screwdriver. It's shown here on the bottom. You just kind of pry it towards you, and that's going to let the whole drain assembly go toward the back of the washer. And then you can kind of wiggle it out. There's still two wires connected to it that are bringing power, and you're going to just grab those wire connectors and kind of wiggle and pull pretty hard to get them off of the drain pump. And then you get the whole thing out of the machine, and you can switch a new drain pump, a new motor, onto the drain assembly. We're going to take out 3 Phillips head screws. I want to kind of remember how the drain pump is oriented onto the drain assembly. It's usually off at about a 45-degree angle. These things are pretty cheap. You can get them at Amazon. This is the part number. Maybe order a couple, because they only seem to last about 3 or 4 years. And here's the old one, and then here's the new motor. We're going to go ahead and remove these 3 Phillips head screws that are holding it on, and we're going to shift them over to the new pump. You just got to kind of remember which holes those Phillips head screws go into. There's 3 of them. There's also this white plastic cover that's on the drain that we need to remove. So we're going to use a standard head screwdriver to kind of pry this thing off, wiggle and pry it off. We can see that the impeller had broken off the old one. Pretty common. These are pretty good washing machines except for these drain pumps. The rest of it's pretty tough. So we're going to use a standard head screwdriver to pry off this old cover, and then we'll just pop it on the new one, and it'll kind of click in place. Push it in, wiggle it in. I'm going to add one more Phillips head screw in there. We'll put that onto the drain body, and the motor is going to be at about the 1 o'clock position. And then we're going to go ahead and put those Phillips head screws firmly into position. And you want to kind of look at the whole thing from the side and make sure that the drain motor is down nice and flat on the drain assembly. There's no gaps that water could leak out of. So that looks good. So now I'm pushing the assembly back in. I'm going to put the power leads back onto the motor. Got to make sure they're on there nice and firm. And I'm going to take the little small drain tube and I'm going to push it up through the front panel. Grab it with my other hand, pull it through, and then I'm going to feed the whole thing in with the coin trap pointing toward the front of the machine. I'm going to slide it into position. You can see it here coming in toward the front. I'm going to fit it into these little grooves here at the bottom, and then I'll add the 2 Phillips head screws that hold it.
You need to
and I'm just going to put those screws in. They're going to hold that pump in place.
No, I'm not going to get
And
a new
then
one.
Yeah, and you
put
think
in
it
the
would
other
just
little Phillips head
it
screw
wouldn't do that.
holds it.
Ah, shoot.
Put on this cover.
Yeah, but still works.
And
Yeah,
after that,
we
we
can
have
try it
to
out.
add
It's good
2
though.
more small Phillips head
Should I put
screws that hold
laundry
on
in
that cover.
Yeah, that's the best test.
I'm gonna put the line
And
in.
we have to
Okay.
connect still
Yeah.
those tubes underneath, the big black tube that goes from the tub over, and also we have to connect the one that takes water away from the machine.
Oh yeah.
And now when we tested it, we fired
Yeah,
it
you
up
want to
after plugging it in, and
Just
it
gonna see if
did
the drains work.
drain the water right away. So this is a pretty effective fix for the LG washing machine that won't drain. Pretty fast way to get in there. Inexpensive, maybe $35
Oh yeah.
for the
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
and probably 45 minutes of your time, and you will be done. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance.